Today, communication is an important part of our daily lives. We send text messages, use social media websites, and of course, we never leave home without our cell phones. With all the high-tech electronic devices available, we still use a simple and inexpensive discovery to communicate and get tasks done. That discovery is the Post-it note. With the Post-it note, I can remember to return calls, I can make shopping lists, or my personal favorite, the honey-do list. There are countless reasons that we use Post-its. Just imagine how much would you forget to do if we didn't have this discovery. You might be surprised to learn that the Post-it note is one of the top 5 selling office supply products in the world today. According to a CNN.com article from April 4th, 2011, Spencer Silver, the man responsible for the discovery of the adhesive used on the Post-it notes, referred to the Post-it as a discovery that no one knew they needed until they did. The story of how the Post-it note was discovered is an interesting one. Tonight I'm going to share with you how a series of accidents led to the discovery of and production of the Post-it, and how this invention has affected our lives today. The story begins in the year 1968. Spencer Silver was a chemist for the office supply giant 3M. He was attempting to create a stronger and tougher adhesive. However, what he created was not the strongest adhesive ever made. In fact, it was just the opposite. It was a pressure-sensitive adhesive agent called microspheres. He found that this adhesive had a removability characteristic. According to the CNN.com article from April 4th, 2011, he discovered that they could be peeled away without leaving any residue on the paper. He also found that they were reusable. These microspheres resist breaking, dissolving, or melting. Unfortunately, 3M management were not impressed, and it would take another 12 years before the Post-its hit the market. Silver knew that there had to be a use for his discovery, and he quickly got the name Mr. Persistent, according to the NBC program Chance Discovery. The Post-it note originally aired on March 4th, 2011. In the year 1973, Silver suggested that they could spray the adhesive onto bulletin boards. One could then stick pieces of paper to the bulletin boards without using tack or tape. 3M management were not receptive. Bulletin boards were simply not a big enough seller to produce the adhesive. Spencer Silver's invention would need the idea of a colleague to reach its full potential. Art Fry was a chemical engineer for 3M. In 1973, he attended a seminar put on by Spencer Silver on his discovery of microspheres. According to an article from the website todayifoundout.com from November 9th, 2011, while Art Fry was at a Wednesday night church choir practice, he used bookmarks in his hymnal. The problem was that by Sunday, they would fall out. He realized what he needed was a bookmark that would stick to the sheets without damaging the paper. Fry suggested that Silver was using the adhesive backwards. Instead of spraying it onto bulletin boards, they should be putting it on the paper. This idea reached its full potential when office staff began sending messages around the office. Post-it notes took off rapidly. It was a self-advertising product because their customers would stick them onto documents and then send them out to other businesses. Today, Post-it notes come in a variety of colors, but the most common and initial color was yellow. You might assume that the reason for this is that because they show up when stuck to white paper, but as it turns out, that was an accident as well. The real reason is simply because the lab next door to where they were making the Post-it note had some scrap yellow paper, and this is what they used to make the first Post-it. Today, Post-it notes produce $50 billion each year for 3M. They have become a part of pop culture seen in movies and on television. Some common uses of the Post-it notes today are reminders for ourselves and others, to make lists, to give directions, and to communicate with others. They are found in nearly every office and in many homes. In fact, in my office, I found that my own coworkers have at least 4 Post-it notes in their work areas. I myself have 6 Post-it notes in my work area as we speak. Even with the technological advances in electronic devices, based on an audience analysis questionnaire I did on my fellow classmates on July 14th, 2013, I found that most still use Post-it notes on a daily basis. When I asked why they thought that is, I learned that people like Post-its because they are quick and easy to use, because it is a physical piece of paper that you can stick somewhere that you know you will see, and because paperwork will probably never go away. I also found that simply by writing a Post-it note, it gives people peace of mind. What started out as a mistake has become a daily part of our lives. Much like the pen and pencil, the discovery of the Post-it note is a business staple that has changed how we communicate with others and how business gets done today. It may not get the same respect as the telephone or the personal computer does, but without the Post-it note, we would likely forget appointments, instructions, and it would be harder to communicate with others. So the next time you try something that doesn't go as planned, remember the story of the Post-it note. You never know, you might have just stumbled onto the next great idea. Spencer Silver saw something innovative. His accident became a success. Thank you for coming. Do you have any questions or comments?
I have a question. I want to go on TV.
Okay, thank you for your time. Have a good evening.
Hey, you can grab a plate or poop on there.